Hello and welcome to Brand X Reviews. This year I'm actually going to do a Christmas review because I kind of missed it last year. I didn't really do anything. I kind of covered it briefly, but I didn't do any films or anything like that. So I've had requests to do Die Hard, and guys, I wanted to do that. I really wanted to do that, but if that's what you're after, I'm going to have to let you down because I'm going to cover what is probably more widely regarded as a Christmas classic, and that is the old 1946 film It's a Wonderful Life. Something I watched quite recently and I got quite a few things to say about it, so here's a review, enjoy. It's a Wonderful Life, released in 1946, is a very well-known about Christmas classic, adored by generations and hailed by critics as one of the best Christmas movies of all time. The Christmas classic was nominated for 6 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director and Best Actor. Now, you may not know that back in 1946, when the movie came out, it was labelled by the FBI as submersive and a vessel for communist propaganda. This was, of course, during the Red Scare in the immediate aftermath of World War II. Recently published FBI documents also reveal that informants for the FBI raised concerns that the film's portrayal of wealthy banker Mr. Potter as a greedy villain was a sure sign of communist propaganda. So basically, this film has a fascinating history. I mean, anything's possible, but who knows anyway. Now, the film itself, if you haven't seen it, here's a brief synopsis. The film plays from the point of view of a group of angels initially depicted visually as a group of blinking stars and constellations in space that talk to each other. They discuss a character called George Bailey down on planet Earth, stating that he has a large number of prayers that have been said for him, and he's now at a crucial time in his life where help will be needed. At this point, I'm kind of reminded of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, maybe even the 1997 film A Life Less Ordinary. A bizarre parallel, but it shows this film's possible influence on popular culture through to more modern times. So again, one of the angels talking about him, and one of them says that he's not yet earned his wings, so this is a great case for him to do that. Incidentally, it's said at one point in the film that every time you hear a bell ring, somewhere out there an angel has earned his or her wings. But we'll get to that later. Anyway, the story, as I say, is told from the point of view of the angels, and it begins. So it's spanning between 1919 and 1946. A young George Bailey, played brilliantly by the late James Stewart, is overwhelmed by family responsibilities and local community obligations. He's basically tied down to working for a local financial company, a building society, in a job that he never, for the most part, had an interest in working for. Now, we follow him from his early years to becoming a family man in his middle age. He sees his youth, aspirations, and the bigger picture, travelling the world and all that, pass him by. A familiar story to most people, even after all these years. I think that's what makes this film such a timeless classic. Despite his struggles, he makes a good life for himself in Bedford Falls before, during and after World War II. But when the film catches up to Christmas Eve on the present day, albeit 1946 when the story is being told, everything changes in an instant when his elderly uncle and employee Billy loses the day's takings in the amount of $8,000, found and stolen by evil local miser Mr. Potter.
Maybe, I don't want any maybe. We've got to find that money. Uncle Billy, look, you realize what's going to happen if we don't find it?
More to the point, the $8,000 belongs to the people of the town that invest in George's bank/building society. So, not cool, guys. So George loses his shit and has a very truncated and alcohol-induced nervous breakdown right there on Christmas Eve. He upsets everybody, his family, his friends, his children's local school teacher. He crashes his car into a tree, then wanders over to a bridge and decides to commit suicide, since he believes he is worth more dead than alive. Now, unknown to George, all of his friends and family have been praying for him to get through the hard times. So he's then met by Clarence, his guardian angel, as he contemplates ending his life on the bridge. Clarence introduces himself as his guardian angel and they discuss the situation, George, now going even further with his suicidal thoughts, is now thinking that it would have just been better if he had never been born. So Clarence then pulls a few strings with God just to make a point. A crucial point, don't get me wrong. George is then erased from history. You can kind of see where this is going. Now, as a result, all the good work that George did in his lifetime, intentional or not, is undone. His brother now died at a young age due to an accident on an ice pond that George now no longer existed to save his life from. As a ripple effect, his brother never lived to become a war hero in World War II, costing lives of American soldiers, which again would have ripple effects, albeit unseen in the film.
Harry wasn't there to save them because you weren't there to save Harry.
And that's just following one positive thread that George's existence had, until it was erased. Now, the town that George supported through the hard times was now in an alternative timeline state of change, as the rich, mean old miser, Mr. Potter, had opportunity to take over every level of its infrastructure unchallenged. With no George there to protect the town, casinos, loan sharking, slum landlord-owned property, dingy watering holes, all that stuff, they're in abundance. It's an all-round unpleasant atmosphere. Now, I'm kind of thinking now of Biff Tannen's alternative Hill Valley circa 1985 in Back to the Future Part 2, another pop culture influence. So anyway, the point is made. George realises that his life does have value and things get put back to the way they were. Then we have that famous scene where actor James Stewart, in character as George, is running through the main street of his town, screaming and shouting in joy that everything is back where it was.
Merry Christmas, Emporium! Merry Christmas, you wonderful building and loan!
He goes home, and although the $8,000 is still missing technically, the good townsfolk have put a collection together to fix things. So the day is saved, everyone is happy, Bedford Falls is a nice place to live again. Oh, and Clarence the Angel gets his wings. Now we know he gets his wings because...
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
That's right. That's right. Attaboy, Clarence.
Now, there is a colorised version if you aren't a fan of black and white, but I say bollocks to that. This film was made in black and white. It was made for black and white. The lighting, the cinematography was done in such a way to accommodate for black and white. Usually whenever a studio colorises something, it tends to throw things off balance, like brightness and contrast. You do lose sharpness of the picture and it just doesn't look right, so I'm recommending you stick with a black and white version. So as I say, this film is available in those two different versions. You've got the colour and the black and white. Now the version that I own, if you're interested in kind of viewing the differences between the two, you can get this version here. Now, as far as I know, there are quite a few other releases of this film, on DVD at least, probably Blu-ray as well. With this, it's very straightforward. You get the black and white version and you get the colorised version. But like I say, I recommend black and white. And some of my friends that are out there that are watching this, some of my local friends, if you want to see this film in a cinema, Skipton Plaza, who I am not in any way affiliated with, are going to be showing this on, not January, that'd be a bit late, December the 21st, which is a Sunday, and I think it's at 1:30, but you might want to double check that. So like I say, if you're watching this review and it's before this Sunday the 21st of December, and you want to go see it in the cinema, there's an option for you there. And again, like I say, I'm not in any way affiliated with them, so if I've kind of got the time wrong or whatever, you know, check it out yourself. So that's pretty much that. As I say, unfortunately, I haven't done the Die Hard Christmas review this year. I just haven't had time, guys. And I know it's something that you were asking of me, but yeah, I guess I could do it, but you know, do I really want to? Do you want me to do it seriously? Okay, I'll do the Die Hard review. You win. Check back brandixreviews.com. It will be up tomorrow, Die Hard review, and I guess we will see you for that. Thank you very much for watching.